So nice to be with you all and to be able to share a little bit about what we've got going out on the Rocking Tree Farm. This is 20 acres of property that we have in the Silver City, so we're just northwest of Helena, about 15 minutes from here. Not too far, but far enough to keep us at home sometimes. So we purchased this land June of 2016, so we're just coming up 3 years on our property. And after a year, when we bought this property, we said, God, what do you want us to do with it? And we had no idea what he was going to do and where we would be. And I can tell you my head spins every day because we've done so much in such a short amount of time. People tell me all the time, do you sleep at night? I do. I think what gets done by the grace of God, and all of it's gotten funded by the grace of God. But he said, I have more. I have more. You just wait. You haven't seen nothing yet, Tab. I've got more. And that's what he told me the beginning of this summer. And I was like, whoa. I don't know that I can do more, God. And he has. He's done more, and there is more to come. And so I'm excited to share a little bit with you about what we've been doing. We do have a farm, and so we have barns and tractors and animals and all kinds of stuff. And every once in a while, God graces us with a rainbow just to remind us that he's there and of his promises. So my husband was gracious enough to go stand in the pouring rain and take this picture. And we love using it. So if you're not familiar, the young man at the back of the room is Matthew, our little kiddo. He's going to videotape me today. His life's not interesting enough. You got to go home and watch the replay. And my husband, George, who has really been the inspiration for everything that we've done and will be doing and are doing in the future. So this is our family, of course, in front of one of our barns. So we have we are a registered farm nationally, so we do have farm number. You can apply for farm grants. We're just starting to get into that, and people ask me all the time, what do you grow on your farm? And they are very surprised with my answer. We grow memories. That's what we grow. Memories. Now I know a lot of you are have had a lot of memories come, and some of your memories have gone. But you have memories, right? And it's when you hit a tough time, you draw on those memories to bring you hope or to get you through a tough time, right? That's the way it works. Some of you, those memories are from childhood, an amazing experience you had, or 45 years ago getting married. Those are those precious memories that we have. And the people that we're working with, that we minister to on a daily basis, they don't have hope-filled memories. They have memories of pain caused by other people or systems. And so when they come to our farm, for some of them, they finally get to reconnect with a memory of a happy time. And for some of it was when they were wee children, little children. Oh, I went to visit my grandpa on the farm. I remember that. And you can see the smile come on their face. Interesting. We grow memories. So we encourage people who come out to the farm to bring your cameras and take pictures. And bring a friend or bring your family. And what do you do on the farm? Whatever makes you happy. That's what we do. And so every visitor who comes to the farm gets a very different experience because we merely have said, God, use our land. Simple, right? Simple, yet the most complicated thing in the world. This group of 3 veterans, and these are their case managers. These folks are in a treatment program because they are battling substance abuse issues. because their memories are so terrible, they'd rather not experience them, so they drink them away. Memories. And they come to our farm and we replace those bad memories with good memories, with hope-filled memories. And these are VA employees who are bringing people to our farm. Know why? Because we don't charge anything. Because the VA can't pay us to do what we do. Because what we do is God's plan. It makes sense. We experience life together. That's what we do. So our target audience can be summed up in one word: those who are disconnected. Bad memories, hurtful things, pain, war experiences, combat experiences, early childhood trauma. All of these painful memories disconnect people. This is Satan's ultimate plan, is to disconnect people from the community that God created at creation. That's the ultimate plan. So our target is those who are disconnected. So we focus a lot on veterans and their caregivers. Caregivers are hurting because they're so isolated. Sometimes they rarely get out of their house as they're caring for their veteran. A lot of the veterans are single because they have lost every relationship they have. They don't have a friend. They don't have a brother. They don't have a parent. They have no one. They've lost their army buddies. Their combat, their brothers in arms are gone, disconnected. And we try to establish a connection. That's our ultimate goal, is to connect with a person when they come to our farm. We are also working with service members and their families so that we help them connect and stay connected so they don't ever get to the point of being disconnected, completely on the prevention side. So we're on prevention and recovery. And this verse from Psalms is the only scripture I have for you today. Ken asked me if I had some deep theology for you. And I do. This is the deepest theology there is. A father of the fatherless, a defender of the widows. Who are those? The disconnected. Those are the disconnected. God sets the solitary in families. What's a family? Anything you want to call it. I have family members galore. This lady is one of them. She's become a grandma. Another grandma. Now, Matthew is so blessed with real grandmas and extra grandmas and grandmas and grandmas and grandmas. We got grandmas galore. And this is Grandma Betty. She had her daughter drive her up from Billings, Montana, because she wanted to spend her 90th birthday on the farm with us. And we did not know that until she was on the farm. And then she finally told us why she was there. So we took her out to dinner. I called my boss and said, I'm not working the rest of the day. I got a very special visitor who I'm going to spend the rest of the day with, Miss Betty. You can't really see it, but at the bottom of the picture, in her hands, she's cradling a chick that's about 4 days old. So these chicks came out of the flower bed this summer. They're still in the barn and getting bigger. And he brings those who are bound into prosperity. And these people who are disconnected, they are so bound. They are bound spiritually. They are bound in their hurt to a point where they don't see any way of healing. And because of that, veteran suicide rate, and the military suicide rate is astronomical. Astronomical. You know, we had a 19-year-old airman stationed at Malmstrom Air Force Base with his brother who took his life 3 weeks ago. You would think he's connected. He's there with his brother. They're gone. His life is gone. And the highest risk category, we have 2 high-risk categories, and they're all white men. White men between 18 and 26 who have been to combat. High risk. And then white men 60 years and older. A lot of you all, you're the high-risk category. Your peers believe it or not. And this is why, because they are disconnected from things. So on our farm, we have a menagerie of animals that we use because here's the deal. Some people may have gotten bucked off a horse and injured, but they come up from that still with a pretty happy memory intact. But animals aren't the ones that made the long-term hurtful memories for the most part. We lose an animal and it hurts. It hurts. But loss is a part of life, and it can be a giving part of life. But animals are what allows folks to connect. If we can get them to connect with an animal, the next step is that they'll start to connect with us. So George is a veteran who deals with his own issues, and to me as a caregiver and as someone who cares. And they say, why do you do this? Because we care about you. But there's nothing in me to care about. And I said, I still care about you. That's what we do. We have families that come out. This was one of those that drove onto our property and said, hey, do you mind if we a gentleman I had seen a few days before, he sent me a text message and said, I'd like to bring my wife and daughter out. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, come on out. 10 minutes later, they were in the driveway. So he must have been down at the end of the road. But he and his wife are struggling right now. And so they came and they made some good family memories in the midst of their struggles. And we don't have to talk with them about their struggles necessarily, but they get to create those memories that bring them along. One of the other services that we do in conjunction with the VA is here at Fort Harrison, they have an inpatient mental health treatment program for those with post-traumatic stress disorder or those with a substance abuse disorder. These programs are a minimum of a month, so weeks they have to be checked into the hospital. Some of them are 2 months long. And then there are circumstances like with this lady who she was dying from pneumonia in her home. And she would not go get treatment because she had no one to feed her dog. Disconnected. Your case manager at the VA said, I have some people who will love on your dog. So Renegade came and became a part of our family, and Renegade loves Matthew, I think, way more than Matthew loves Renegade. But she got the treatment that she needed, and she came out to visit us afterwards, which is when this picture was taken. The disconnected. She knows we're there for her. We also work with children who have suffered trauma. We'll not go into this young lady's story, because it's her story. But let's just say she's had a rough life. And like my friend here, who sometimes sees clearly and sometimes not so clearly, this gal has not seen at all. But on our farm, she's ridden a horse, she's helped with chores, and we even taught her to drive a pickup truck. Experiences she would never have had along with her whole family. So memories, her mom's the one that took this picture and shared it with us. But kids who come out to our farm, we also have children from Intermountain Children's Home that come out with their teachers on a regular basis. And a lot of these kids have sensory issues. They don't like to be dirty. They don't like to be touched. Lights too bright. Sounds are too loud. You know, all kinds of issues. And we will literally give them a sensory field trip where they get to touch everything they want or say no thank you. And then they decide, oh, it's fun to touch. It's fun to touch and experience. And, oh, I forgot them at home. They drew us pictures to share with us their favorite memories. You'll have to go out. I'll pull it on the Facebook page. Here's another veteran who we had his two little furry family members with us for a couple of months. And in fact, we had him for a few days because when he got out of the treatment program, he was not ready to go home. He was just not ready to go home. And so we took him in. And so this picture is actually at his home because we stay in contact with him. He lives in Clinton, Montana, and in Victor, thank you, in Victor, Montana, and has a beautiful property there and good roots. And what we did is we helped him connect with those positive memories from his past. So we would stop focusing on the negative memories. Let's go back and focus on the positive memories and where life begins. So for us, growing, which is a farm, is all equals healing. And healing equals life. We are actually a suicide prevention program. We're one of the most effective suicide prevention programs that's out there. And we've heard that from social workers, counselors, medical doctors, pastors, ministers. If you look for homes for troubled teens, they are all on working farms and ranches. They're using animals to connect. And this was last year, we had triplets. They're my favorite. We also, in addition to the animals, we grow the plants. And this picture really is what got us started on the farm. When we moved out to this property, we had two things growing in abundance: prickly pear cactus and sagebrush. It was beautiful. But it is beautiful in the springtime when the bitterroots bloom. We have one of the largest bitterroot fields anybody's seen. So that's a great time to come out and see all the bitterroot. This literally, when we moved out there, was a divot in the ground. There was not a sign of life. There was not even a twig. And I was ready to just bury it over. And George said, let's water and see what happens. And then he went and found a tire, and he put a tire around it to give it some protection. So we have protection, we've got God's sunlight, and we've got our water that we put on it. And the next summer, we had twigs, little leaves start to grow. This was year 2. Our twigs grew into flowers. Flowers that bloom. They're hard to see because of the angle of the picture, but this bush is now about a foot tall. And we have been amazed as we've watered different areas of our property. I have one tree that's almost as tall as Matthew now. And when we moved out there 3 years ago, there was nothing. There was no sign of it. But this is what connects the veterans, these disconnected people. They feel very ugly inside. They feel like they have nothing beautiful to them, that there's no life in them. And we say, we're willing to water your roots. We know there's roots in there. And that if we let God work and we let us work loving on you, we're going to see something beautiful emerge. But we just need to give it time. Time. Time with life is the opposite of suicide. That's where we go. Now, along the way, we do have some really cute critters that come our way. These were our baby goslings. They are now not quite full grown, but I would say they're at their teenage years is what they're at. But we brought these guys home when it was still below 0 outside. So at one point this spring, because of our cold March, we were still below 0 in March. I had 90 little birds in Costco tubs lined up with heat lamps in my living room. Now, for those of you who have known me for a long time, let's just say I'm not very happy about that. I tolerate it for a week or 2, and then we move them out to the barn. But if we don't give everybody what they need right when they need it, we lose them. And we do lose animals. And I cry pretty much over every one of them. But we also see life grow. These are radishes. Radishes. 2 weeks after being planted by some awesome 8-year-old kids from Intermountain Children's Home. who, when they came on our property, wouldn't make eye contact with you. They wouldn't talk to you. Their behavior was a little squirrely. And by the time they left, after their first hour of being there, I had kids crying because they did not want to leave. So their teacher promised, we're going back next week. It's okay. You're going to see Dr. Tab again next week. And this was after 2 weeks of plants growing. We let them take their plants home, and 3 of the children said, I want my plants to grow here. Will you take care of my plants? I said, I will. And Mom's been meeting them. She comes out to the hoop house and harvests radishes, and we eat them. We also do things a little unorthodox in our farming world. We mix up our animals. So this is actually a stud horse. He's an Arabian. So if anybody knows anything about horses, these are high-energy, high-spirited horses. Stud horses even more so. And I have him with all my babies. He's the protector of my babies. And he keeps track of these lambs all the time. There is no competition, there's just gentleness. So my lambs keep the horse gentle, and the horse keeps my lambs protected. We do the unusual to have the remarkable happen. And what would a farm be without chickens, right? So these are our babies. All these guys were born in the spring. So we did bring eggs along for you. We have an overabundance of eggs. And I am not a good salesperson, so I like to give things away. So we were giving eggs away to veterans on Friday at an outreach here in the community, and then we brought some eggs for you today. These eggs were all picked in the last 2 days, so they're fresh and they're unwashed. So, but hope that doesn't bother you. It's all right. What we do is we go to the Fran's Bakery outlet and we can buy a grocery cart full of bread for the chickens for $5. So anybody who ever comes out to the farm, we pull a loaf of bread out of the freezer and say, have fun. And by the time they're done feeding all these chickens a loaf of bread, they've picked their favorite. And then when they come back, they look for their favorite, and sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. We do live out, and we have predators. So this tree was planted to honor a veteran who had passed away. His daughter was in need of some healing. And so she connected with us by saying, can I bring you a tree and plant it on your farm in honor of my dad? Absolutely. And she comes to visit and often. And she takes her vacation time to come from Billings to visit us on the farm. And we have seen her heal from major depression in the last 6 months, a depression that she has been in treatment for years. And she is healed. And she is allowing God to just let her blossom. And God got her a life partner, and she'll be getting married in December. And we know that that healing journey for her, our farm was a part of that. Might not have been the whole thing, but it was definitely a part of that. So we have 2 groups of people that come out to our farm. Visitors and volunteers. You're either one or the other. That's what you are. And for a lot of the veterans who come see us, they don't want to be a visitor because they're just fine with their life and there's nothing wrong with them, but I'll do something for my buddy. And so they'll come out as a volunteer and they'll work. Even the ones who are in the treatment program at the VA, sometimes the staff just tell them, this farm could really use some help today. Would you be willing to go help them out? Yeah, help me out. And out they come and put us to work. Put us to work. That's what we want to do. And in the process of being put to work, they are putting life into the farm. And they walk away with that memory of saying, I gave life to something today. This is a group of employees from Home Depot. Last year they invested in our project with $7,000 of building materials that created a horse shelter that we desperately needed for our animals. And they brought this group of employees who spent their workday building that shelter. We could not have survived the winter the way we did without this contribution. And praise the Lord, we got a call from Lowe's on Friday that they want to talk to us about a project. So not sure yet, a possible project. So we need to pray that possible into action, right? And get one of our other outbuildings up there. But here's why we do it all. Here's why. Who's smiling bigger? It's really hard to know right now. It's hard to know. But we did not realize their story until months after they had been to the farm repeatedly over and over. And then they finally sat down and shared with us that they'd basically been locked in their house because of fear. Anxiety attacks and fear. But you know what? They live close enough that if I've got something going on and I need help like this, they're my first phone call. And they contact me. Do you need any help over there? Do you need any help today? What do you got going on today? Do you need some help today? Which I finally learned is code for I need to get out of the house, but I need an excuse. So you need to call me and tell me you need help. And then, like, yes, I need help today. Can you do this? Absolutely. And here they come. We also have volunteers that come straight from our church. I don't know if you guys know Eileen Newhoff, but Eileen is one of the widows of our church that she was in a small group with us when her husband passed away, and we've just maintained connection with her. And she comes out to, she does not have transportation, so we are looking for somebody who can drive Eileen from town out to the farm for a couple hours and back. She'd like to spend 3 days a week, or 3 afternoons a week out at the farm volunteering, and I've got lots of stuff that she can do, but it's not always possible for me to drive to town, pick her up and bring her out, and then drive her back home again. But you know what? We've done that because it's good for her. It's good for her. She's not stuck in the house by herself, and this is where she feels like she's investing in God's work. And so I take the hit driving her home at 8:30 at night. Because we love to have people come out and volunteer with us. Here's another group of veterans that came out to us from the VA. And you'll see in the background, this picture's hard to see because we've lost our light. We have lost our light. This was in summertime, so it was pretty late at night. They had come out on a Friday evening, and we got about 12 trees planted in the ground right along the front property line, so that they can come back and not even have to stop if they don't want to stop, but they can drive by and check on their trees. They can check on their trees. And one of the gentlemen, as we were walking them back to their van, he said, I have not thought about PTSD one time since I set foot on this property. So for a few hours, he was freed from the bondage, freed from that bondage that has him in a long-term treatment program. That's God's work. And what were we doing? Putting trees in the ground. It is not theologically deep. It's just together. Together. That's all there is to it. Together. So now on to the phase of our ministry where we are looking for people to really partner with us because we know that God wants to do more. But I work full-time. So I will work full-time, and we will have somebody call 10 o'clock in the morning and say, I finally got my bed in the hospital. Can I bring you my dog in an hour? Yes, you can. Thank God for a very amazing boss who lets me skip in and out of work as I need to do this, and just love on a person before they go into the hospital. And George has taken, if they can't get passes to come out of the hospital, George has taken their animals to the hospital for visits, because they just need that pal. And he's not afraid to go in the hospital with the dog and say, I'm here to put a smile on somebody's face. And that's what we do. So we are looking for partners. Now right now my kitten was being a partner with the chickens. She was guarding their eggs. I don't think he realized that by guarding the eggs, the chickens quit laying eggs in that pile, which created a little more work for me. But these kittens are God's gift to our farm. They were abandoned. 2 little brothers, abandoned at 9 weeks old, just left on the road, and somebody was kind enough to pick them out. At the same moment that I lost a cat, George put a message out on Facebook saying, my wife is really sad. She just lost her favorite cat, but we have no money to buy new cats. Does anybody have some kittens? And this gal contacted us and said, my daughter just picked these 2 stray cats up off the street. And I said, we'll take them. We didn't know what they looked like. We didn't know what sex they were. We didn't know anything other than here's a little abandonment. These 2 kittens, when we have a group of veterans out on the farm and they come and sit on the man porch, the man porch, you'll have to come out to the farm to see it, the cats will come right up and sit right in their lap, whether that veteran wants to like cats or not. But it's outside, it's all outside, and they love it. So we encourage people to come visit, because it's really hard to explain, especially in this short amount of time, and I know I'm over time, Sandy, so sorry. I've got one more slide. Please come out for a visit, but this year, using the small groups ministry of the church, we are going to run a small group on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 6 o'clock. What are we going to do? We're just going to grow memories out on the farm, and we're going to help families grow happy memories. And if you're single, you are still welcome to come out, because we might create a family with you too. It's the way we work. And we will also be having people who don't come to church, this church, be out at our farm. And so this is your opportunity to sit and listen, love on, and give hope to somebody who really desperately needs hope. That's what our family time at the farm is. So we have no elaborate plans for the 3 to 6. We have no Bible study planned. We're just going to see what God does. God, the Creator, can bring healing as we water trees.
So Tab was talking about the things that I deal with. I deal with post-traumatic stress issues, military-related sort of stuff. I can relate to the veterans that come out to the farm. And what Tab hasn't said yet was, in that connection, they'll confide into me and they'll ask me the simple question, well, how do you deal with it? And that's where I come with my God story, if that makes sense. You can't preach or teach to the VA folks at all, because they have rules against it. They turn their blind, they don't like us doing that, and we can't do that to the Intermountain either. But if they ask us that question, that's where we.
And God has given George enough healing from his own issues to be able to say, God has helped me heal, and I'm still healing. God has helped me do it. And that's where the second bullet point here comes in, prayer. Healing warriors, because that's what we're doing. Healing warriors requires prayer warriors. You get what I'm saying? We engage in spiritual battle on a daily basis, because we never know who's going to be driving in the driveway and what their past is or what their story is or what they're going to need from us on that particular moment in time. And I can tell you, Satan does not like what we're doing. He does not like it. And every day he tries to drive our family apart. Every day he tries to steal something from our farm. And I lose animals. I have lost more animals this summer than I have ever lost. And the vet is like, there is no explanation for this. I've got a solution. Prayer. Prayer warriors. Prayer warriors. Who I can reach out to and say, today is a big battle. Can't tell you anything more because that's all I got. That's what we need. But when you look at the battle, it comes right down to this. Veteran and military suicide rates are extremely high. The national average is 21 every day. 21 a day. And in Montana, our rate is 3 times higher than the national average. So that doesn't mean we're losing 62 people, because that's a national number. But I can tell you, I sit in the community through my job. I sit in suicide prevention meetings, and I hear about the suicides that are happening. There are way more suicides happening than you will ever see. Okay? We are battling for life. Because if suicide, Satan wins, he wins that battle. There's no more opportunity for that person to have life. And every day I can help another person have another day of life is another day that God can work. Through you, or through a lamb, or a stupid chicken who's not smart enough to realize he can't swim in a swimming pool. You know, it just is what it is. So, get your boots on. Get your boots on and come on out to the farm. Volunteer or visit. Here's what we deal with: all ability levels, with all mobility levels. We can get people around the farm who have very limited mobility. Our 90-year-old visitor has very limited mobility, and we can take her everywhere she needs to go on the farm to see every animal that she needs to see. And we are looking for donations to help with the ongoing cost of the farm. Right now, we fund the farm completely out of our household income at a sacrifice. And we're trying to build a farm based on a sacrifice. So we are now working with a local organization called Montana Joining Community Forces. They are willing to take in any donations under their 501c3, which is what allowed us to have the Home Depot grant, and then now hopefully the Lowe's grant. We are pursuing grant dollars, but we are also asking for people who have the means or interest. Maybe volunteering isn't something you can do, or there's no way you want to get any of the stuff we get on your shoes. We're okay. We weed through, pardon my terminology, we weed through a lot of crap every day. But that also connects with our disconnected, because that's kind of what their life is like. And I can just tell them in a laugh, totally okay. I stepped in some myself. It's all right. So if you find a way to support us, just a little bit that we've put together here for you. So on the tables, there's some flyers on the family time at the farm with our address if you want to come out. There's also the brochure on our farm that we use as we speak with veterans, community groups. Matthew said, "Are you known outside of Helena?" And I said, "Yeah, baby, they're talking about us all over the state. All over the state. They're talking about what's going on here." And these are people that are not necessarily invested in ministry, but they are invested in healing people who are really hurting. And that's really the big part of this. So when you think about who you're investing in and what you're doing, I just want to end with this picture. If I can get to it. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. We went out of the keynote, actually. Sorry. Yeah. I was going to show picture of 4 veterans that came out on a suicide prevention activity. And the one gentleman, he's a big Native American, big barrel chest, and he's wearing a leather jacket, and he's got a straw hat on his head, pretty feathers. I mean, he looks like a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He's like, I'm cool, I'm just here because it's better than sitting in the hospital on a Saturday. Doesn't bother me any, come on out, because I know God's going to work. And know who captured his attention? A rooster. So next thing I know, I'm looking, and he's like squatted down trying to do a selfie and catch the rooster in the background with him. Like, dude, you don't look so cool right now. You don't look so cool right now. But he found his connection. That silly rooster. And then all of a sudden he went back to the hospital, and he told all the guys there, that was the coolest thing. That was the coolest thing. And you know what George and I do? We're just living our lives very transparent. Very transparent. We struggle. We struggle with issues on a daily basis, and we still are being asked by God to serve. We're hurting, and we are still being asked by God to work in His fields. So if you need excuses, don't come talk to me, because I don't have any excuses for you. All I can tell you is you're never too old. Eyesight doesn't matter, because we got blind people on the farm who are able to do all kinds of amazing things. If you're one of my best volunteers is a medical doctor who uses cleaning chicken coops for her own self-care. That's what she needs. So when she gets to hurting, she calls me. Do you have a stall I can come clean? Yes, I do. Come on out. And this is somebody who's married and has kids and family and has a great job and gives out to people all the time. But in giving out, she gets worn out. And what does she do? She comes and shovels food. That's what you do. And so that's a little glimpse of what we do. For every picture I was able to show you, I probably have a dozen stories of people's stories who it wouldn't be appropriate for me to share. These are all folks that have given their permission to me to share about their life journey and how it intersected with our farm. I do not know what the spiritual condition is at this time of a lot of these folks, but I know that God asked us to plant seeds. He asked us to sow seeds. He asked us to walk with Him. And so that's what we do, figuratively and spiritually, on our farm. So, Sandy, I'll turn it back to you.